A virtual tour of Greenland. Lonnie Dupree wrote a book called Greenland Expedition, Where Ice is Born. Take a trip with us, virtually, to visit Greenland. You will see that there is much more to Greenland than ice. When you first arrive in Greenland, you'll likely be in a small town near the sea. Inland, much of the land is covered by glaciers, thereby making it difficult for people to grow food or build permanent shelter. Living by the sea makes it easy to get your kayak into the water. For hunting trips and transportation, just drag your vessel from your home to the shores. Every hunter has a custom-made kayak, and borrowing someone's kayak can be dangerous. You'll also see lots of people with dog sleds out there in the yards. If you're looking to travel on land, this is the best way to get around. The sleds are made of lightweight but sturdy material. Remember, when you travel with dogs, you have to pack food for them too. Modern kayaks can be another way to get around. Traditional kayaks are made from whalebone, driftwood, and sealskin instead of plastic. Balancing in a kayak is one of the first skills an Inuit hunter must learn, along with knowing how to flip its right side up if it capsizes. Kayaks are used for hunting whales and seals, but the people of Greenland can easily fish on ice too. Simply cut a hole in ice and put your line and bait in it. Wait patiently, and if you're lucky, you'll have a fish on the other end. When you're kayaking, learning how to maneuver through the icy water and around icebergs is important. Look at how much water there is for this explorer to travel through. Getting stuck out there means hypothermia and death for hunters and explorers alike. Even on land, there are oceans of snow and ice to travel through. This is where dog sleds come in handy. There are no gas stations to fill up your snowmobile, so using a pack of dogs to pull you is a much better way to travel in Greenland. Look at how much equipment this sled can hold. There's food for both humans and dogs. All the supplies such as fuel to melt snow, and of course shelter. The tent will be rolled up in the morning when the explorers are ready to move on. Most of the time, Arctic explorers find themselves alone with their pack of dogs. It can get lonely and explorers must be mentally prepared for it. Some of the training is very practical, such as learning how to handle the dogs and sled. The other part is psychology and becoming mentally tough. Of course, there is always beautiful sunsets to remind you of why you decided to take this journey. Arctic explorer Louise Boyd took many pictures of her expeditions to Greenland and through her experience became a self-taught photographer. How do explorers get water? They're surrounded by frozen water, so it's important that they have fuel to melt the ice into liquid water. Animals cannot survive more than a few days without water. In Greenland, both humans and dogs need to stay well hydrated. You can't just melt water and pack food for yourself. Don't forget the dogs who are doing all that pulling. They need to eat and drink too. However, in a land where there are no gas stations outside the cities, dog sleds are the best mode of transportation. After a full day of pulling that sled, the dogs are hungry. They wait patiently for food in this picture. Like humans, because these dogs expend a lot of energy every day, their food needs to be high in calories and nutrient-dense as well. Humans need to pack high-energy food, like this nut butter here. Spending long periods of time in the cold saps the body of its energy, so eating high-calorie food is crucial to survival. To keep the food dry, Ziploc bags are a great idea. You can even portion out your meals this way. When you've set up camp, simply unzip, cook, and eat. Plastic bags also keep the food dry, so it lasts longer. Throughout the journey through Greenland, our explorers experienced different seasons and visited many landmarks. It took Lonnie Dupree 4 years to circumnavigate Greenland, so he got to see it during winter and fall, in both the north and the south side of the island. To get to the top of the mountain, Arctic explorers spend a lot of time planning and preparing. They set up hidden caches of supplies along their route. They also need to pack food, shelter, fuel, and warm clothing. Good preparation is key to surviving in the Arctic. And what an accomplishment it is to get to your destination and leave your mark there. Some explorers, such as Louise Boyd, made such an impact with her travels there that a special place was named after her in Greenland, Louise Boyd Land. And when your adventure is over, it's time to plan the next one. We hope you enjoyed this virtual tour of Greenland.